The Hidden Bible of Ethiopia, the shocking secrets they tried to hide for 2,000 years. For almost 2,000 years, Christians have been told the same story. Jesus rose from the dead, appeared to his followers, and ascended to heaven. But what if that wasn't the end at all? In the mountains of Ethiopia, there exists a Bible so ancient, so massive, that it holds secrets the Western Church never wanted you to see. And at the heart of these secrets, the shocking words Jesus spoke after his resurrection. Words so specific and terrifying that they seem to describe our world today with haunting accuracy. This isn't speculation or conspiracy. These are ancient texts preserved for centuries by Ethiopian monks who believed these words must never be lost. What did Jesus really say during those 40 mysterious days before he ascended? The answers will shake everything you thought you knew. The Ethiopian Bible, a world forgotten. Most people think of the Bible as one unchanging book, but that's simply not true. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church possesses one of the oldest and largest biblical collections in existence. Their Bible contains 81 books, while the standard Protestant Bible only has 66. That's 15 whole books that were left out of the version most of the world reads today. Why? Let's uncover the truth. In the 4th century, missionaries from Syria arrived in what was then the Kingdom of Aksum, modern-day Ethiopia. They brought with them a vast collection of sacred literature, texts that would later be rejected, hidden, or banned by the Roman Church. But Ethiopia was different. Isolated in the mountains, never colonized, and untouched by Western influence, Ethiopia preserved these texts. While the rest of the world forgot, these ancient writings remained untouched for nearly 2 millennia.
The Machathi Kadan, the Covenant of the 40 Days. One of the most important texts in the Ethiopian Bible is called the Machathi Kadan, or the Book of the Covenant. This text claims to record exactly what Jesus taught his disciples during the 40 days after his resurrection, but before his ascension. In this book, the Jesus who speaks is not just a gentle teacher. He is the King of heaven and earth, and his warnings are chilling. He tells his followers to go into the world and build God's kingdom, not through worldly power or conflict, but through the strength of the Holy Spirit. But then comes the warning. Jesus predicts that over time, people will twist his words. He says that there will come a day when people will shout his name in the streets, but their hearts will be far from him. They will build massive temples of gold and stone, but forget the true temple, the human soul. Today, when we look at the state of organized religion, those words hit differently.
Jesus' apocalyptic visions, the apocalypse of Peter. The Ethiopian Bible goes far beyond what we know from the standard biblical texts. Among its most graphic and disturbing writings is the Apocalypse of Peter. This text is a vision of judgment, where Jesus shows Peter 2 horrifying scenes, one of the glory of the saved and one of the torment of the damned. The imagery is so intense that it makes Dante's Inferno look tame by comparison. Those who twisted justice and accepted bribes are seen immersed in a river of fire up to their knees. Those who bore false witness are shown chewing their own tongues in agony. Why would Jesus show this to Peter? The text suggests it was a warning of the consequences of corruption, greed, and hypocrisy.
The prophecy of the last days. The Ethiopian Bible doesn't just contain visions of judgment, it also holds a prophecy about the future of faith itself. According to these texts, in the last days, Jesus' voice will rise again from unexpected places, from deserts, from mountains, from the children of those who were enslaved. His Spirit will speak through the forgotten and ignored. This prophecy completely inverts the traditional image of the church. It suggests that truth may not come from those in positions of authority, but from the humble and broken. The mysticism of the Ethiopian Bible. Why did the Western Church reject these texts? The Ethiopian tradition points to 3 reasons: political control. Rome wanted a simple, easy-to-manage Bible that could reinforce its authority. Mysticism. These texts are filled with spiritual battles, angelic encounters, and visions that were too strange for Western leaders to control. Fear. The church feared that if people heard these teachings, they might seek God directly instead of relying on the church for guidance. The Ethiopian Bible teaches that Jesus remained on earth for 40 full days, revealing what they called the heavenly scrolls. He warned that his words would be twisted, his image repainted, and his name sold. Jesus' secret teachings, the nature of reality. Beyond warnings and prophecies, the Ethiopian Bible delves into the nature of reality itself. One of the most profound teachings in these texts is remarkably similar to ancient Gnostic philosophy. Some Ethiopian writings describe 2 creators, one of true light and one who created a false world, full of shadows. Jesus' mission was to help people wake up from this false dream. The body, he taught, is like clothing that wears out. The spirit, however, continues. True fear, according to these teachings, is living without the spirit, a death that walks while the heart still beats. The final prophecy, a promise of awakening. Before his ascension, Jesus gave what the Ethiopian writings call his final prophecy. He said that a time would come when love would disappear and faith would become mere performance. People would worship with their mouths, but not with their hearts. In that same time, he promised that his Spirit would rise again, not in grand temples, but inside the broken and humble. He said, "My Spirit will move where religion cannot reach. The proud will not see it, but the broken will." Ethiopia, the guardian of the true word. Why Ethiopia? Ethiopia is one of the oldest nations on earth. Unlike most African countries, it was never colonized, and it preserved its culture, language, and ancient beliefs. Many Ethiopians trace their lineage to Ham, one of Noah's sons. According to Ethiopia's national epic, the Kebra Nagast, the Queen of Sheba was Ethiopian and brought the Ark of the Covenant back to Ethiopia. This is why Ethiopia's faith is unique. The lost books, what Western churches don't want you to know. The Ethiopian Bible contains ancient texts that the Western Church rejected. The most famous of these is the Book of Enoch, which describes the Nephilim, giants created by fallen angels. Over time, Rome banned these books, but Ethiopia kept them. The Ethiopian Bible is written in Ge'ez, a language almost no one understands today, and this linguistic barrier, combined with Ethiopia's isolated location, made it a time capsule of early Christianity. The question that remains: did the Ethiopian church preserve the true, terrifying words of Jesus? Or is this just another mystery we may never fully solve? What we do know is this: these texts exist. They have existed for nearly 2,000 years. And what they contain challenges everything the Western world has been taught about what Jesus said after he rose from the dead. The warnings are clear. The question is whether we're willing to listen.